Hey mathematics learners, welcome to Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. So on today's video tutorial, guys, we are still solving quadratic equations by using the quadratic formula, right? In this video tutorial, guys, we're going to be looking at this equation, right? Where we're given 2x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 3 is equal to 15. And what we can already see with this equation, right, is that it's not packaged in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So we need to basically do some work, right? And basically transform what is given, right, to the standard form so that we can basically solve this equation by using the quadratic formula for x. Okay, so before we get started with today's video tutorial, guys, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Please make sure that you click on that notification bell so that you get notified every single time I upload a video tutorial, guys. And also please don't forget to give all my video tutorials a huge thumbs up, because that really helps the channel grow and it helps the channel to reach more learners that want to better their mathematics marks. Also, guys, I'm literally going to be teaching the whole grade 11 curriculum this year, right? I know what you guys are doing, right? I know that currently you guys are also going to be moving on to trigonometry, right? So please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, because each and every topic, each and every concept that you guys will be doing in school this year for grade 11, I'm going to be doing that on the channel. Okay, so please make sure that you are subscribed, and please make sure that you click on that notification bell. These tutorials will really help you guys achieve in your grade 11 mathematics. Yeah, all right, so without any further ado, guys, let's get started with today's video tutorial. Like I mentioned, this question is not packaged, right, in the way that we want it to be packaged. We still need to basically remove these brackets, right, and check to see that, okay, is then, after removing the brackets, is the equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, okay? If not, we need to ensure that the equation is in that form before we can use the quadratic formula. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to basically start off by distributing the brackets. Okay, so we're going to remove our brackets by applying the distributive property. Okay, so I'm just going to divide our page so that I just write on one page. Okay, so from here, what do we see? 2x multiplied by x is going to give us 2x squared. 2x multiplied by a positive 3, that will give us a positive 6x. Negative 1 multiplied by x is going to give us a negative x. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 3 is negative 3. That is equal to 15. Okay, then can you simplify the left hand side any further, right? We do see that we've got like terms, that positive 6x and that negative x are like terms, so we can basically add those two values together. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 6 minus 1 is positive 5x, right? Minus 3 is equal to 15, all right? What do we see? Is this equation in the form of ax squared plus ex plus c is equal to 0. Is this equation in that form? It's not. What are we seeing? We're seeing that we've got a 15 on the right hand side instead of a 0. Okay, so that means that we need to basically move that 15 to the left hand side. How are we going to move it to the left hand side, right? So we're going to minus 15 on the right hand side, and we're also going to minus, right, 15 on the left hand side. What you do on the right hand side, guys, you also need to do on the left hand side. A lot of your teachers will also say that, I mean, if you want to move this 15 to the left hand side, if a term jumps the equal sign, it just becomes a negative, right? So in this case, what do we have now on the left hand side, right? We've got 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 minus 15 is equal to 0. Okay, can we simplify the left hand side any further? Yes, we can. We've got like terms here, right? So we've got that negative 3 and negative 15. Okay, so therefore, if we simplify that further, our answer or our equation is now going to be 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 minus 15 is minus 18, which is equal to 0. Okay, so now what do we see? We see that, oh, now our equation is in this form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So now we can basically apply the quadratic formula. Okay, another person might ask, how would we know, right? For example, you'll get some questions, right, in your exam, and how would you know if maybe that question you could apply the quadratic formula, or you could basically factorize that equation by just using this method, right? Where you just think, what are the factors of 18? That if I basically multiply them together, they're going to give me 18. Or if I add or subtract them, they're going to give me 5. How would you know whether you can use the quadratic formula or whether you could use this method, right? So just a tip here, right? If you were to basically factor out this 2, do you realize that for all of these terms, right, if you had to basically take out this 2, right, if you say 2x squared divided by 2 and 5x divided by 2 and negative 18 divided by 2, do you see that middle term, right, wouldn't basically give us a whole value if you were to divide it by 2? Okay, so already that's the first problem. That's telling us that, okay, here in this case, I need to basically use the quadratic formula. In other instances, you'll find that yes, you would still have like a coefficient of a value, a coefficient of 1, right, for your x squared, but you'll find that you still can't factorize it in this way. Okay, but we'll look at those examples together. But already here, the first thing that's just saying, okay, I need to use the quadratic formula, is that there's no common factor. If we had to basically think here, we don't have a common factor, right? The 2 is not a common factor. So that is already saying that that is an issue, okay? So that is why we can basically use the quadratic formula, because sometimes they don't tell you to use the quadratic formula, okay? Then you need to think that, okay, for this equation, I can actually just use the quadratic formula to solve for x. All right. So let's continue. So in this case, what is our a? Our a is the coefficient of x squared. So our a is 2, okay? A is the coefficient for x squared, so it's 2. What is our b? Our b is positive 5, okay? The coefficient for x is our b. And what is our c? Our c is our constant, c for constant, okay? And our c is 18. All right, so now we're more than ready to basically substitute all these values into our quadratic formula. What does our quadratic formula say? It's x is equal to minus b plus or minus, right, the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, we're going to substitute our a, our b, and our c into this equation. Therefore, x is equal to minus, what is b? Right, we got that our b is positive 5 plus or minus b squared. So your b is 5 all squared minus 4. What is a? It's 2. What is c? It's negative 18 all over 2. What is your a? It's 2. Okay, so here, right, you can just also just punch this into your calculator to basically get what your x is, or you can just also do this mentally, right? So then you have minus 5 plus or minus, right, 5 squared is 25 minus, okay, we've got a minus times a minus here, so we already see that that's going to be a plus, right? Then 2 times 18 is going to give us 36, okay? So it's 4 times 36, right? Okay, and all over 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Okay, we can basically simplify the terms that are under our square root further, so it's going to be minus 5 plus or minus, right, the square root of 25 plus, what is 4 times 36 is 144, right? So it's 25 plus 144 is going to give us 169, okay, all over 4, right? And then the square root of 169 is 13, okay? So we can further on simplify that to be negative 5 plus or minus 13, because the square root of 169 is 13 over 4, okay? Therefore, what is our x equal to? X is equal to, you can focus on the negative 5 plus 13 divided by 4, or, okay, x is equal to negative 5 minus 13 divided by 4. Right? So therefore here, minus 5 plus 13 is equal to 8, and 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. So therefore, x is equal to 2, or minus 5 minus 13 is equal to minus 18. Okay, divided by 4, right? And I think of a value that can go into both 18 and 4, and that is 2, okay? What is the highest common factor for 18 and 4? That is 2, right? So in this case, 2 goes into 18 9 times and goes into 4 twice. Okay, so we've basically now solved this quadratic equation, basically for x by using the quadratic formula. All right, so this is a nice so this was basically a nice question, right? I hope you guys enjoyed it, right? In the next video tutorial, guys, I'm going to be introducing you guys to solving, right, for x using the K method, okay? So this is a nice method that you can use, is most especially when you're given like complex equations like this, okay? The K method just simplifies your life, right? It enables you to then use the quadratic formula to solve for what is k is, and further on be able to solve for what x is. Okay, so please make sure you try this question on your own for homework, and in the next video tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how we can basically tackle this problem using the k method to solve for x. Okay, so I'll see you guys on my next upload. That is it, guys, and I'll see you guys on my next upload, Distance Learning with Lee, where I make learning mathematics super easy. Bye, guys.